Welcome back to another episode. Thank you all for tuning in. I hope that you're enjoying this season so far. So far, we've had some pretty good guests, man, and that's not stopping today. We got another good guest. So go ahead and introduce yourself.
What's going on, good family? My name is Maurice Myers, or the author Maurice Myers, and I'm an author, poet, spoken word poet from the Bronx, New York. Now out in Georgia, and I'm author of coming on 5 books at the end of this month. I'm a former educator, really just a person all around who likes to motivate, help, and push people forward, and that's what my brand is about. With my brother Kajuan, we are the icons. EYECON, we hold it down and we just look to motivate and push our brothers and sisters that are in this all different walks of life of artistic nature, whether it should be an author, you a singer, we just work with everybody. So yeah.
Man, thank you for taking the time out to join me on the show, man. I've been following you for a while on TikTok, and you have this thing that you do as author to author, and it's really good stuff, man. It's encouraging authors, inspiring authors. It's giving us a push whenever we need that little push. Sometimes we might be. As a matter of fact, today you did one, and it was talking about pretty much perfection and trying to be perfect and
Mhm.
how that just stretches things out. What made you start doing that?
Honestly, bro, I was on TikTok doing videos about giving tips about different things to do as an author. At that time, I had left my job, so I wanted to be a full-time author. So I had to make some shake, and I got on TikTok doing videos, and I was doing those, and they were like 6, 7 minute videos, and I was getting a little traction, getting love. But it then I did a daily reminder, probably 30 seconds long. 100 likes, 200 likes. It's like, oh, okay. All right. So they want to hear the daily reminder. So I watched someone else do it about something else because, the daily reminder thing is not a new thing.
Right.
But I watched them and I said, oh, well, let me just do one. And then when I saw it, I said, well, let me do another one. And the traction is what kept me doing it. And then it kept me responsible because it's like, you're not working. You need to be doing something. And as long as I can do this, I know that I'm doing something towards my goals. And it blew me up in a different way that I didn't expect, I should say.
A couple of times, yeah, you've helped me, man. We all get them little moments where we supposed to be doing something,
Um,
and social media is a great distractor from that. And it's always good when you find somebody who can remind you, like, hey, you need to be doing something.
that's the goal, and especially like because that's what helps me. That's what motivates me. Seeing somebody else tell me like, "Hey, yo, get to it." My family is very straightforward. My parents are straightforward, so that's how we talk, and that's the idea. And what I've learned, especially with others, is a lot of times it's a confidence issue, and
Mm.
we just gotta push each other. Like, "Hey, no, you good? Keep going."
So, how did you get started with writing?
Oh man. Truth be told, I have to give credit to my older cousins. Growing up in the Bronx, you got to be in a rap group at some point in your life.
Yeah.
So especially for the '90s, and we from, my dad is from the birthplace of hip hop, 1520 Sedgwick. So there was no way we wasn't gonna be rappers. So we were like, I probably if I'm like I was like 8, my cousins were probably like 12 and 9, and we were just writing little raps, and I did hooks because I couldn't rap, but I could I could do the Dr. Seuss thing.
Yeah, yeah.
So I would do that, and then it's turned into writing poetry, and I would write horror stories on my spare time because I loved horror movies. It just was like a free thing for me to do. So those were like my intro into it, like writing hooks with my cousins and then writing horror stories in my composition notebooks. And it grew into this.
Wow. So you were co-author of a book that's the genre is Afrofuturism.
Yes, sir.
How did you get into that?
Well, I think the coolest thing in the world is that I do this with my bro. He and I were like best friends in college. We was all part of the same crew, and when I graduated, I ended up being roommates with him and his wife. So we were literally roommates, and we were teaching at the same school.
Oh
So we
wow,
were
yeah.
together. all the time and always creating, doing music, doing all these different things. And it was like, yo, I want to do, he said, I want to do like something with superpowers, like superheroes. And I was like, word, like we should do something like that. Why we don't do that? And when somebody say an idea and all your friends say, yo, let's do it. And we started planning and it started going through so many different aspects of like what it was supposed to be. It's supposed to be a comic book. It's going to be a show on Netflix. It's going to be a show on Hulu. Like it's going to be everything but a book at first.
Yeah, yeah.
So, it was, so that was the idea, just creating people with powers. And the idea was to create this one character that we would pour into, and just two very dominant personalities can't pour into one character. So we had to end up creating our own.
Yeah,
So we
that's what
got
I was
our
about
own.
to ask you. How did that work? Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
So we got our own characters that are main characters, and
Ah,
that is where it grew, where we got to kind of take from all different aspects of life. So Egyptian old myths, Santeria, religion, all kind of things, just having fun incorporating it into the fantasy novel.
so it's called Finders Keepers.
Yes, sir.
Could you give us a brief synopsis of what it's about?
Oh, let me tell you, man. So
And it doesn't have to be brief.
I got you. I got you. I
Yeah.
know how to run through this. So, all right, it's a race of people called Amoyans. They are gods and they come from their own planet. Due to their own civil war, obviously, because you know how that go. They blew up their own planet, and then a few of them came here and ended up on Earth. Ended up on Earth before human civilization began, and then ended up intermingling with humans. Eventually, due to war with humans, we ended up cutting ourselves off because you know how that goes.
Yeah, yeah.
So we don't did so our the Amoyans stopped dealing with humans, but they upset so they get their powers from an ancient gods. They're gods who get their powers from ancient gods. They upset the ancient gods with that civil war, so the ancient gods took their powers. They have to now, well, not, yes, now, in order to get your power, you must go through this crucial quest that kills people, and you have to survive it. And then in the end, you end up getting your powers. In our story, Kane, Cairo, they are the main two characters. They are princes, and they are now going on this quest to earn the power. Their father is the first person to ever go on the quest and earn the power, so they have a lot to live up to. Uh, their mother is much the same. She went on the quest and earned her power. He is the sun, she is the moon. And now it's their turn to get their powers. And we are going through the book, dealing with all the family drama that comes in it, because you can't just have peace. That's not
No.
what you know. But it's mainly also because I have a younger brother, and my brother and I get along. I don't have that story of brothers who fight and we fought, but brothers who dislike and hate.
Yeah, me
Like,
either. Yeah.
shout out to I love hearing that. Like, so we wanted to push that storyline where you have brothers who are different, but also are pushing. We're not doing the Cain and Abel thing, you know.
Right, right, yeah.
So yeah, that's mainly what it's about. Just showing what the Amoyans go through, their family drama, getting the powers, and what it means for the new generation coming up.
Man, that's pretty dope. Anytime somebody co-writes a book, it's
Mhm.
cool to me because like you said, if you have dominant personalities, it's hard to kind of agree on things. So I like how you all took the approach of having two main characters where you each could pour something into it.
Mhm.
Are there any plans to create, I don't know, a series of books?
Wow, so funny you should say that because there are two of them. So right now, the first one, Finders Keepers, The Age of Apophis, that dropped last year, or I want to say December 2023, Christmas. And we just released this follow-up, the sequel,
Ah, yeah.
July 13th, 2025, the Quest for Ascension. So the after that will be the third book. If I could tell you fairly quickly, like this is the original Finders Keepers. This Bible right here is what we call it.
Ooh.
So this is our original,
Yeah,
and
that's a
this is
big
what
book. Yeah.
Yeah, yes, yes. This is how this is how we ended up now doing 3 books because
Yeah.
Amazon was like, nah, you're not doing all that. Like you gonna this is what it's gonna look like. And then when we tried to make it a 6x9, it was over 1,000 pages, and they wasn't playing that neither. So
Nah.
3 books it is.
Got it.
You
Got
know?
it.
Uh-huh.
That works out though if you think
Mhm.
about it, man. Because of course because you're living it, but like breaking stuff down, sometimes we have a lot to say, and if we break it down into little pieces and give people little pieces at a time, it's more digestible. Because some people, that book you just showed me, a lot of people would run away from that, even though everything you said sound interesting. Is like, man, I don't know.
Can't do all that. It's a Bible, bro.
Yes.
It's a textbook. Like when we got the book, I just bust out laughing. Like I just couldn't even do nothing but laugh. Like, yo, look at this. What am I supposed to do with
Right.
that? You know? But
So go ahead.
I was gonna say it got us here. That's all.
So what was that experience like after you all published the book?
I think it was relief. It was definitely relief because we had started our business in 2019. LLC, got all the paperwork, did all the things. The only thing that had happened was I released my book, The Experiment. So we didn't, that was 2020. We didn't release anything until 2023 because we said nothing can happen until this book comes out. Everything has to wait. We're going to put this book out and this is going to be the thing. So to finally to go from having to from writing all of this to being told no, you can't use this book. This is not going to work. Now you got to rewrite and figure it out. And then finally doing it and then being like, yo, it's up. I couldn't feel anything but relief at that point. I was just grateful that it was over. Like I loved I loved the journey. I'm grateful. I never want to sound unappreciative.
Yeah.
But I just think every author knows, like when you
Yes.
going through it, it's like, bro, I'm just glad that we got it done.
Hey,
Okay.
that's the transparency that people need. It's like you said, when you're done, you're just like, whoo.
Hmm.
But then after you take the little breath, you realize like you just really getting started because you gotta
Yeah.
market the book. Gotta
Yo.
market yourself.
Oh my God. Like I gotta get on camera and talk about it. Like I gotta talk to people about I'm an author. What else y'all need from me? Like, but it. I think that was part of it too. Like that realization though. Like when it's over, it's now like, okay, well, what's next? How do I push this forward? What do we? There's 2 of us, so we do get to game plan and strategize. But when we get there, it's also like we don't know what to do.
No, yeah.
Who knows what to do?
Yeah.
Like, you could listen to people, they'll tell you, somebody's gonna tell you to go pay for promotion. Then somebody else is gonna tell you, don't do it. It don't make
Yep.
no sense to do that. So you just kind of gotta just try stuff and see what happens. Like,
Hey. I'm a witness, man. Having multiple books, as you know, what may work for one or two of the books may not work for the other ones. And now you sitting here
hmm
looking like, I've done this before. Why is it not working? You
right,
know?
right, right, bro. You understand the journey of like, I've done, especially after you've done your first book, and you see how quote unquote easy it is to upload everything. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, well, at least the next time I know I'm gonna be able to do this a lot easier. And it's like, no, you won't. No, you won't. You gotta pray that
Yeah.
you'll be able
Yeah.
to upload this a lot easier.
Yeah.
And
Cause my first book, man, like I couldn't get the formatting right.
mm.
And I tried for like a long time, man. It might have been a week trying. And then I just finally decided to talk to my mother because she had used I think it was I don't remember what it was called back then, but
hmm
Amazon. And she was like, yeah, you have to, I forgot what she told me to do, like put in PDF and I was like, why didn't I ask you all this time? Because
Right.
when if you do it in like Word or whatever, you put it in there, everything is moved around. And I
hmm
was like, I should know that, but
Who tells you that?
right. And then the other part about it is when I was actually reading through what to do, it actually said in there converted to PDF.
That is true though. I ain't
Yeah.
gonna lie. A lot of stuff be right there. You
Right
just be
there.
so irritated that you don't even
Yeah.
see that they telling you how to do this. They like, yo, we giving you this, bro. Please, just and you like, I'm not reading section 2 where all the answers are. I am
Yeah.
going to look everywhere but here. So
Yeah.
I get it.
That's my biggest takeaway from my first book is like reading everything. Cause
Hmm.
you excited. You want to get it uploaded, you want to get it out. So you
Yep.
don't feel like reading through all that stuff, even though it helps you.
Yes. And there was Ingram Spark, there was that
Yeah.
debacle of trying to get on there and them telling us that the cover just didn't work.
Yes.
Because after I dropped my first book, I said, I don't want to do the Amazon again. I want to be up cloud. I want to step up. We're evolving around here. We got to do it
Yes.
different. So I'm like, oh, let me go to Lulu and Ingram Spark. Because these are gonna work perfect for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, uh-huh. Lulu wanted us to charge the book $45 to make a profit because well now I understand we were giving them a Bible, so I get
Yeah.
what they
Yeah.
were they were trying to say. These textbooks gonna cost money, but Ingram Spark would not let us upload. Like I bought an ISBN. Shout out to my dad because he bought that. But either way, I bought an ISBN and it was like no, we go ahead, we Photoshop the cover. I sat on YouTube. I listened to like 5 different people break it down. I sat up there and did the cover in all kind of ways that I know I would never have done in my life. Like I do not do this. Or for it to say no over and over. So we just went
Wow.
back to Amazon and mind our business.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah, I haven't used Lulu, but my first experience with Ingram Sparks was like that, trying to get
Mhm,
the cover formatted because it's
mhm.
different from Amazon.
Yes.
You don't know that if you don't know beforehand, you find out quickly when they
Hmm.
reject it.
Yeah. Yeah.
One of my books, like when my first proofs came, I had the title in the spine, and some of them were low, some of them were high. They weren't exactly in the middle, and
Mm.
they were telling me like, yeah, it's whatever they specifications for what's passable. So what I
Uh,
did was I just increased the font to
mhm.
max the edges, so y'all have no choice but to put it in the middle.
You see? You see?
Hey man, so anybody out there, if you're planning on becoming an author, you're planning on self publishing, uploading your stuff, man, just take your time, read things, and it's gonna be frustrating, but it'll pay off.
Yes, and there's always an answer. You can do it. Like, don't if you're ever in that mindset of like it's just not supposed to happen. Like, trust me, that's part of the part of the process. You just got to get past that. Like,
Yeah,
there's an
man.
answer.
that's
Oh,
that's a backup to iconic.
okay.
How did you well, first of all, for my listeners, what is iconic and when did you all start that and what was the reason behind it?
Okay, so Iconic Enterprises is the business name. So it was really a hub for us because we did so many different things from poetry to music to performing to writing plays and all that kind of stuff. It was like, okay, this needs to be under something. We can't just be doing this out here freely. So that's really what it became was something for us to be able to have a business to run all of our stuff and then in it became we have a mentorship program because we both former educators, so we had a mentorship program there that we continue to move with us everywhere we went. Like it just turned into so many different aspects of us being able to release books under our own name, have book signings, and have a company that when I want to go out and go to events and or do when I'm speaking and doing speaking engagements, I can use the company name to speak under.
You mentioned music. What type of music are you all doing or have done?
Well, let me be very clear, yo. I am not a rapper, okay? No, my bro, Juan the Icon that you always see me with, or that
Yeah.
I co-wrote with, he's always been a rapper as long as I known him. Since he's a DJ, he's a rapper, all the things outside of being an author and a father. So, like, that's how we met off the tip of like it's a gang of us, a crew, and who's the best rapper out. I'm trying to figure out who the best rapper is because I don't rap, and he was the best rapper. I ain't gonna shout out to everybody, y'all, but y'all know what it is. So you know, when you start being like I said, we were roommates at one point. So you live there, the studio in the house. So he
Mm.
does audio engineering. He knows how to he like, you know, when people come in, they record in his studio. So eventually you getting on a song. That's how I feel. If you in the studio long enough, you gonna end up on a song, you
Yeah.
know. And I'm a poet. That's not hard to do. Like I grew up with my cousins writing hooks, so that's what I was like. Look, you the rhymer. I'm gonna just write a hook. Like let me Nate Dogg this thing. Like that's how I look at it, you know. So I do that. I've done that a few times. I would not like to say like I'm an artist in that regard because that's a real thing.
Okay, so and that was going you led me to my next question: poetry and spoken word. How
hmm
did you get into spoken word? I know we talked about the not being able to rap thing, but you a spoken word artist, pretty much the same thing, right?
Yeah, yeah. I think getting into spoken word truly was. I was in college. Went to Lincoln University, first HBCU, and while I was there, my freshman year, I went to a poetry club called I Spit. Went with my people's CC Allen and them. They was like, "Yo, pull up." I pulled up. I heard people spitting poetry. Now I had done poetry, but I wasn't no spitter. So
Mm,
I watched them and I was intimidated. Like, oh, I am not
yeah,
performing. Like
yeah,
watch them, but I would just come because it was fun, and sometimes it was drama. So then sometimes it was just a fun place to be. And then my senior year, I always went by every year, watched his people graduated. I was there, and they asked me to help them critique poets because I was there. So and I was older, so I said, "All right, I got you." So I was helping, and then one of the presidents, she came to me. She was like, "Yeah, you can't critique nobody else until you get up there and do it yourself." And I was like, all right, what you trying to say?
hey, that's a
Like,
good point. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, like so I got up there and it's a family show, so it was just a Biggie song, Get Money was like the inspiration
Ah,
for my first
yeah.
poem. And I was
Wow.
going, it was the wave of consciousness. So, it was 2013. We was all kings and queens at that time. So it was a lot of
Right.
time. So it was a deep discussion about how we weren't taking care of the queens.
Ah, got it. Yeah.
But that was my intro, and getting on stage and seeing people like it was like the bug. Like, oh, I could do this. People like it. All right, let me go back. And I kept doing it. And the Brandy, that's the president who told me to get on stage. I watched her and I mimicked how she did poetry because I didn't know how to get on stage for real. So I watched her, I mimicked, and then I figured it out. And then from there, I found my own kind of style with it. And performed on stage a lot more. I got to perform in New York, so I got to go home and perform. Like it wasn't just on campus. And then I performed in Delaware when I moved there. So it was like a thing. Like, okay, this is what I'm doing. Even when I moved to Atlanta, that was the first thing I did was perform. But I'm gonna be honest, it was like I didn't know where the money was gonna come from in poetry.
Yeah.
So I wasn't trying to focus on that. I'm like, I don't care if I'm good at this. If it's not going to do anything for me in the long run, if I'm going to be poor, then what am I doing this for? Like I come very far. I'm not going back. So I gotta have something that makes sense. And I went away from it for so long just to have to end up coming back to it anyway. So it didn't
Yeah.
matter.
And that's my next question. So, how did you go from that to the experiment?
My bro Juan was constantly on my back, like, yo, when you gonna write this book? And I was like, I'm gonna write it, bro. I'm gonna write it. He like, nah, bro, you playing. So it was like 2 or 3 years of that. And I'm like, I'm working on it. I never written a book. I don't know how to write a book, but I'm just doing it. I'm putting stuff on a Google Doc and hoping for the best. Um, but then eventually I learned these have to be poems that people can read, not just for you to perform. So
Mm,
you have to figure this out. And I called it the experiment because I didn't know what I was doing. I was like, this is an experiment. We're gonna see what happens. And people either like it or they don't, but I gotta put a book out. I gotta do something. So this is the experiment. Like this is it. And that became my driving force of like, okay, once I finish this, I'm an author. And New Year's Day 2020, we was in his basement. It was New Year's Eve, going as soon as it hit midnight. submit. And I was an author. And then COVID hit.
I was just about to ask you, yes. Because you keep saying 2020, and I'm just like, I know COVID fits in there somewhere.
Yeah, brother, it was one of those things. It was like COVID hit. It was January 2020. So we were living high on the hog. Things were good. And
Yeah,
then and this has nothing to do with the book. But Kobe died. And that
yeah.
just changed. Like every
That dog, that messed me up too, man.
that
Hey,
changed so much. So after that, it was like, okay. But long story short, the book dropped. I didn't really know what to do as far as promoting. I'm just posting it online. Like, I got a book out, y'all, posting the link. That's it. And then it was like the world shut down. So I wasn't focused on it. And to be honest, I really wanted Finders Keepers done because when I finished the poetry book, my grandmother, who I love oh so much, and she loves me. Um, you wouldn't think about what I'm about to say. She said, but she does. She said she goes. I give her the book. Well, she buys the book, and she goes, "Well, when are you gonna write a real book?"
whoa.
And I was like, "Oh, shit.
Yes, you gotta love it, man.
You gotta love your grandmother,"
Yes.
because she meant
Wow.
that.
Yeah.
But I knew how she meant it too. I wasn't mad. I didn't take it as like I know my grandmother by now, Harlem,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
she's just going to talk.
Yeah.
But I asked, when she said it, I was just like, okay, I'm a writer. This is a real book, Grandma. And she's like, no, but you know what I mean,
Yeah.
like, and
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, all right, I got you. So you see the Bible
Yeah. Yeah.
came
Yeah.
from a real place of somebody telling me I gotta write a real book at some point. You feel
Wow.
me? And
Yeah.
took that challenge personally. So
That's how I ended up writing my first poetry book. I I think we were just friends. My wife at the time, we were just friends, and
hmm
until I wrote poetry and stuff, and it was a long time that I just stopped actually writing poems out. But I
hmm
was constantly creating poems in my mind, like seeing stuff and
yeah.
thinking about it, but I wasn't writing it down. And so one day she just asked, she was like, "When the last time you wrote a poem?" And I was like, "Man," I said, I got one, working on in my head right now. And she was like, "Oh, that's a good place for it." And I was like,
Oh shit.
"It's like okay." So that
Yeah.
night,
hmm Got right to it, right?
boy,
Somebody tell you
yeah, yeah.
fire.
And I sit there and text. I said, "Check your email."
Right? First of all, nobody but the women in your life can detect that fire like that.
Exactly.
That's a good place for it. That would have set me off. I'm not going. That might be the name of the book
Yeah.
by the end of
Hey,
it.
and it kicked something off, and
Yeah.
it's just like I haven't been in that a funk like that.
hmm
Occasionally, sometimes you don't feel like writing, but it will never go that long again. And I'm just thankful for that, that experience and like that challenge, man. It's just sometimes you need that. Like you don't
Yeah.
even know you need it, and it'll just hit you, and it's just like bam, and you're just like, what? It's like, man,
Like,
you
okay.
you you calling me out? And it's like,
Yo, that's and it be so real that you don't even. I think it's the most raw, authentic version when you
yeah,
feel called out for something that somebody wasn't even trying to
they
do.
were, and that's the thing. They just were speaking their mind.
Right? Like you, like, well, goddamn, okay. I went to an open mic like 2 weeks ago. I went in there with my book to read from the book. Now I have never gone on stage with a phone. I know my work, okay? You have to. So
Yeah,
that's where I come from. It's the poetry I spit. They force you to know your work before you get on stage. So getting on stage, I had the book, so I felt bad like that I had the book with me. And then the host got up there. Now, I don't know if you could tell, but I would love to host. Like hosting is something I believe I would be
yeah,
good at.
yeah,
So that's something I'm working towards. So I'm sitting there, I'm watching the host. So the host is killing the game and he spits a poem. Spits a poem straight off the dome. Well, not straight off the dome, but he's
yeah.
doesn't he has it memorized. I felt called out. I was like, oh, he came here to disrespect me today. Okay. He came up here to say, you coming up here with this book. We know our lines, buddy. So
Yeah,
and and now I got a poem memorized for the next time I go up there
right.
because he wasn't gonna call me out like that. So in front of everybody at that. So yeah, I feel you.
Hey man, it happens, man. So Experiment 2.
Yes, sir.
What was the drive behind that?
That was in the time period when I had left my job and I was working on trying to figure out what was next. My bro Juan and I, we were talking, and it was like, yo, we should put out poetry books for our birthdays because he had just dropped one for his birthday. So I said, yo, we should do that every year. We should just drop poetry books for our birthday,
Wow. Yeah.
and that was going to be the first time I did it. So it was like for my birthday. So it was the second experiment after 4 years, and it was like, okay, well, it's coming out November 30th. I started writing it in October because I came up with the idea in October because that was smart. And I was like, all right, well, I got to do this. So I was broke. I was depressed. I was uh, stressed and chaotic, but I was building. So that's what that book was. It was literally a time period. Like I wrote the experiment in my late teens into my 20s. The experiment two was me at 31 years old. So that's a whole different man
Yeah.
talking.
Yeah.
And where I spoke from was different. So that was the catalyst to pushing it out the second one.
Okay. Yeah. So you mentioned twice about walking away from your job. Was that when you were educator?
So I had left education and jumped into working from home doing insurance, working for veterans insurance and all that at that time. It was driving me crazy. I had hit, that's what it was. I turned 30 and I was 31 now, and I was like, I'm running out of time and I don't
Oh
know if
yeah.
I don't do something now, nothing's gonna happen. And it was like my little brother was graduating from college and we went, and I was like, I told my mom, I was like, Mom, I need to leave my job because I need to do this full time. I have to see. I gotta try this. She said, what do you need? I said, I'm gonna need rent. That's really what I'm gonna need. Like, I'm gonna be honest. And she was like, I got you. She said, what's your plan? I said, September. I wanna go back. If nothing happens by September, I'm going back to work. She said, all right, that's not enough time, but okay. So I told her, like, basically, yes, I need rent. That's what I need for help. And that's what I was given. I didn't work from May. I was decided to go back to work in September, but it was like, oh, we got this job, but you're gonna be in the class. It starts in October. October comes, the class doesn't start.
Hmm.
So I didn't start working back till January. So from May to January, I was putting my all into being an author. I was doing book signings month like back and forth with Kajuan. We're flying up north to New York and Delaware, doing book signings. I'm having meetings. I'm calling all the schools around, trying to like. I just want to be let me speak at the school. Can I read to the kids? Reach out to every organization I can. That's what my days are now, because what I said, this is what I'm gonna do. So I have to do something, and there's nobody's telling me what to do.
Yeah.
So my degree's in broadcast journalism. I know how to connect with people. I know how to network. But where do I go to network? That's where I had to join this mentorship program called Men on the Move. Shout out to this brother, Jonathan Harris. He was a RC at my college, and he just had this program, and I ain't have nothing. So I was like, let me just join. Let me see what happens. And he put me on to so many different things. He would just like reach out to the mayor, and I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, everybody has an email. Just reach out to them. Like, you never know who's gonna answer you. Just email
Yeah.
them. And like, that's how I reached out to you, because he kind of put it in my mind. Just reach out to anybody. You never
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. You never know.
So yeah, but that helped me. It helped me feel fulfilled, and it helped me get kind of a drive and like a roadmap on how to work. And so by the time I went back to work, I had already had the daily reminders. This was growing. I had already done book signings. I knew we had more books coming. So I felt ready to go back to work. Like, oh, I'm ready to get this money back, but I also know what I'm doing now, you know?
Mm. Yeah, I had a guest on here, poet as well, author Ryan Jenkins. She got a lot of books, man. I've got another one coming out, but she stepped away from teaching for a
Mm-hmm.
while. It might have been close to a year, and she went back, but now she's teaching adult ed. It's working out for her.
Right.
And she felt like, she wanted to be an author full time. And, I believe that it's coming. Like for you,
Mm-hmm.
anybody else who wants to do that full time, you may have to get a 9 to 5 or whatever in between. But if that's where your passion is, it's coming. And I think that stepping away, getting your hands into it, and making the moves and doing whatever is setting you up for it.
Right.
And so, when I hear about people who like, yeah, I want to be an author full time, I'm just like, man, that is dope. It may be scary, but hey, I'm here to support you and anybody else who's trying to do it.
I appreciate that, man. I think it's just really getting authors to understand too, like being a full time author is not mean that you're a full time book writer. It means that you're a
Mm.
spokesperson. It means that you have to do community service. It means that you have to show up to events. You have to be a networker. Like those are the ways that it becomes a full time, that where you're making money and you do not have to work. If you're not doing those things, just writing a book is not going to make that happen. It's unfortunate, I guess, but it's like no, you have to wear many hats. It's like anyone in most artistic expressions has to do press runs and things of that nature. So
Man, I'm glad you said that because a lot of people just think they can just write books and that's it. But it
that's not
is
it.
so much more to that because you
Right.
look at, like, for instance, a lot of big name authors that we know and stuff, they're doing talks, they're doing
Hmm.
interviews on, the news and stuff like that. Like they're getting out and doing things. And some of these people haven't really written a book in a long time, but that book launched them into doing these other things. So
Hmm.
when that next book comes out, it's like people are running to buy it because they already know that person. That person has been around.
Yep.
And here it is. We think like, oh man, this is a debut book for this author. But for we come to find out, it's like, oh, this is the like third or fourth book. Like I'm just now
Right.
finding out about them now.
Right. That's that's a fact. It's so much to do more than just being them writing the book. And the more that you get into that, the more it's like I feel like it's like unlocking superpowers. Like I said, my degree is in broadcast journalism. So getting in front of a camera and talking wasn't hard for me. I understand that's not gonna be everybody's thing.
Yeah.
So it really is figuring out like you might be a better networker. You might be better with, reaching out to more people. Just because somebody can get on camera don't mean they can hold relationships. So it is really a thing of figuring out what chores is along with being an author, because it's just never going to just be that.
So we go from experiment two, and now you have experiment three coming out.
Yes, sir.
So what was
Yeah.
the motivation behind that and what can we expect from it?
Well, I said last year we're gonna drop them on our birthday, so I had to do it again. No, in all seriousness, this one is called. So the experiment two is called the experiment two. The lessons. The experiment three is called the experiment three applied knowledge. I do believe that after you get the lesson, you have to apply it. You cannot just sit there and know something and not do it. So a lot of what this book is about is showing in different aspects of me applying knowledge. So I'm talking, I think the experiment two was more so internal. Everything was about me. Most poems were about me and my life and everything that I've seen. The experiment one told stories that didn't have anything to do with me in some regards. But so I wanted the third one to incorporate both aspects of that. Because one, I don't want to be telling my life story over and over again. But two, I also want to tell stories. So because that's the fun part of being an author is being able to tell stories. And poetry can become limiting if you limit yourself in it. Like, oh, I don't want to do this because this is not a poem. And it's like, yo, if it's a story, it's a poem. It can be a poem. Like, it
Yeah.
don't have to rhyme. So there's so many aspects of what a poem can look like. And this version, the experiment three, is just that me expanding my own writing style as an author, me telling deep stories from, just a quick three. One story is about love and how you do what you love, do for the one you love. Like even if it don't make sense to you, I'm gonna, you like these nasty brownies, and I'm gonna get you these brownies every day because that's what you like, baby, and I'm gonna get them. That kind of
Yeah.
thing. To we're talking about, in a sense, starting your journey and being selfish in your career and now deciding I need to pick myself over everybody else and what I want to do to, you know, young teenage, from my experience growing up in the hood, young teenage boys being groomed into gangs, all kind of conversations that just reach different platforms and different audiences. And that's going to be the experiment 3, applied knowledge, just continuing to spread love and talk like I do, daily reminders kind of talk, and just really keep us and keep you entertained, because I like to make people laugh. So the poems do
Yeah.
have humor in all of them. So
What's one thing about you that many people may not know that you wish more people knew, if
mm,
anything?
that I wish more people knew. Um, I think that because I don't know public perception of me, but what I will say is this: I do wish more people understood that I am always going to just try and see what's up. Try and see where these things are gonna go. So sometimes I might not be getting it right, but I'm trying something. So if you see me and it look a little crazy, I'm trying something. All right. I know what I'm gonna get back to. Just let me try things out a little bit, okay? Because I got to.
Hey, sometimes we need to try things, man, to see, like you said, to see if they work. And
Right.
you may find
That's
something that you like that you never knew that you can build on, man. You won't know
yeah.
until you
So
try.
that's it. I just need the world to know that sometimes I'm gonna be doing things that are outside what you know me for, but it's okay. I'm
Yeah.
trying. Cause I'm gonna come home like I always do.
Let the people know how they can follow you, support you, buy your books, book you, anything. Just let the people know.
Everything.
Yeah.
Listen, man, you can find me on everything at the author Maurice Myers. That's Myers. Please don't put no extra E in my last name, please. Thank you. So again, that's the author Maurice Myers. I'm on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, all that kind of stuff. Booking, definitely, always. I keep my emails and all of my stuff, all of my information online, so you can check me out, the author Maurice Myers, and you can definitely reach out to me through there. um all these different places is where you'll find me. Oh, and also I'm now doing podcasts, The Middle Ground with Maurice Myers. That's where I'll be doing the Welcome to Dairy reviews, just the audio version, and also some daily reminders, just more drawn out. So I'll have like a 10-minute conversation about what we talked about for the daily reminders, and there'll be some other stuff coming up in the future, but it's called The Middle Ground with Maurice Myers. That is on everything from the Apple to all them people. Everybody who do playlists, you'll find it if you put me in there. I'm the only Maurice Myers that's gonna pop up. I promise you, as long as you spell it right.
All right, man. Hey, everybody, go out and support Maurice. I want you to. I have the information in the show description. Buy his books, book him, subscribe to his podcast, everything. Just make sure you get out there and do it. And I want to thank you again for taking the time out to join me and sharing a little bit about you and your books. I appreciate that. And to my listeners, as always, remember, keep pushing forward.